Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late December, moving into early January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Cappies? We are right smack in the middle of the holiday season, which happens to be Capricorn season. So what energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn. Late December into early January. What's the vibe? And while we get this card out, I just want to once again wish you all a very happy birthday from me to you. So I hope you're having a great holiday season and an even better birthday. Okay, cool. Card popped out while we were getting that squared away. Now, I like this. It's a good card for future focus. I always say that. Now, for some people, you might think, all right, that card looks a little bit plain, but there are a lot of layers underneath the surface here, aside from just a woman walking on the beach. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady in the beautiful blue dress. She is at the shoreline. The water seems somewhat calm, a little choppy, and we have these big objects in the sky. That's the best thing we could call them. They kind of look like dwellings. Now, when I look at this card, I think of someone looking to the horizon, looking towards the future. So for some of you, maybe that's the mode you're in. Not looking at right now too much, not looking at the past. I'm looking ahead. I'm moving forward. And this is very optimistic to me. The fact that there's a rainbow coming out of it, it's like, all right, the future is bright. For a lot of Capricorns, you might be really in that goal setting mindset or achievement mindset, which I think is nice. Now, if you're not there right now, this could be advice for some of you, where Spirit's like, all right, well, maybe look ahead, set some goals, do a little planning. This is a really good card for that. Now, the downside to this card is sometimes this person could look a little too far in the distance. You know, a lot of times when we have goals or things that we want to do and accomplish, uh, we have a hard time conceptualizing how we're going to get from here, where we are now, to there. So when I see this card, it's like, all right, don't get bogged down in details or the minutia. Just set a goal and make it happen. So I like the future focus. I mean, I always think that's a decent thing. I mean, it's good to stay present as well, but we'll let her chill there and have her moment. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. What do we got in late December, early January? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. And I'll say this, the last 2 weeks, I've really been liking the energy that's been moving towards you. So even if you're going through a bit of a rough one or a bored one, whatever it might be, the energy that's been moving in looks great. Last week's reading was titled The Massive Blessing. Now, when it comes to wins, victories, and blessings, they come in all different shapes and sizes, right? Could be monetary, could be interpersonal, could be a variety of stuff. So I hope you got one. And if not, that energy can bleed over for a couple weeks, so maybe you're due. But let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Cappy in late December, early January, moving into a brand new year, brand new cycle. Yeah, and there's that future focus right there with the 8 of Cups. So we'll look at that. I know some people aren't a big fan of this card, but to me, the way I read in my style, I always love an action card in the first position. And this is indeed an action card. Let's get a couple more here. What do we got for Cappy, please? In late December, early January. Cool. Yeah, the energy's moving and flowing. The energy seems to be, at the very least. So we have the 6 of Swords, and it did come out with another card. There is a lot of internal energy showing up here this week as well. 2 of Swords right here on the back end. So some of these cards do show up as very neutral in their own way. And yeah, they're all bobbled up there, but we'll get them straightened out. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements first. That informs us a lot about how the energy is moving. And as mentioned, it is indeed moving because you have a lot of air here on the back end. That's the fastest moving of all the elements. So with the Six of Swords and Two of Swords, air is logical. It's pragmatic. It's very grounded normally in logic, to make it simple. Like, it's not grounded literally, it's more figuratively. So I like air because it's realistic. That's the big thing. It's extremely smart, it's very intelligent, and it's on the move. So I like this, especially if you've been feeling stuck or a little down. This is what we want to see. The energy is kind of zipping and zooming from what I'm picking up already. The downside to a lot of air energy, it is, yes, very cerebral and can speak about communication. So watch out for overthinking. We kind of saw that with the Oracle card. Getting bogged down in the details or overthinking something could be huge when there's a lot of air. And it could sometimes be cold and detached. Right here in the front, we have cups, the water, the realm of emotions, creativity. So I really like this. It does also tie into interpersonal connections and relationships. The downside with water, it's always in flux, right? It's always moving. So you see what I mean? All this energy is in a flow state. Now, for some of you, that could be good. For some of you, it might feel a little not insecure, but it feels like the ground is moving, so to speak. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with Eight of Cups. Now, as mentioned, some people see this card and they're not a huge fan of it. We have this individual walking away from those 8 cups. So normally the classical sense is like, yep, walking away from something, leaving something behind. Now, that doesn't mean you're abandoning a person or a situation. You might be, for all I know. But this 8 of Cups, it's not walking away from the 8 cups, it's walking towards the 9. That's how I view it. I see this as neutral. Now, we are at the turn of a new calendar year, so maybe some of you are leaving certain things in 2025 and moving towards some good happiness. But again, this is just a card of movement and action. So I like it. So whether it's an action you're taking or an action somebody else is taking. Now, sometimes, depending on what clarifies it, this 8 of Cups can represent revisiting something too. So I find it interesting that we have this huge future focus, a lot of moving energy, but there could possibly be something that's going to pop back up, and we'll take a look. Now, the real downside to the 8 of Cups, sometimes it can represent abandonment. Sometimes it could represent giving up on something. So for some Capricorns, maybe there are certain situations where you're like, I don't know if I want to put energy into this. Or it could be someone that wants to give up. So we'll look and see. I'm feeling very neutral about it at the moment, so I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad thing here. Now, moving to the middle, we have another action card. We have the Six of Swords. Now, the good thing about this card is that it is calming down. We see these people in the boat, they're coming out of choppy waters into calm. So when I see this, I think of improvement. This is a huge card for distance, it's a huge card for travel. So you see what I mean? The energy is zipping and zooming and flowing all over the place. So when I see this card, I think of progression. Really nice. It's also action. So we have this consistent theme right up here in the front. The downside to the Six of Swords is kind of what I was saying here in the front. Like, sometimes it could be an energy that gives up, abandons something too soon. So, and like, I'm not saying it's a flaky energy, I'm not saying it's a flighty energy, but all this energy is moving. It's either moving away or towards. That's the big thing we want to differentiate in this time. But I don't want to turn a positive card into a challenge. Usually this is improvement. So we will see what's up with that Six of Swords. It can also represent modes of transportation, vehicles, stuff like that. Now, moving to the very back end, this might be our curveball because we have the Two of Swords. Now, in the classical sense, sometimes this card can represent indecision, confusion, not knowing where I'm headed. But to me, I see it as overarching mystery. We see this lady, she has like the blindfold, it's nighttime, there's the moon in the sky, so there's a lot of symbolism of the unknown. So like when I see this, which also has the unknown, and we have the Six of Swords, it's like I'm going somewhere, but I don't know where. I feel the energy moving, but where is it headed? So for a lot of you that are on the more intuitive side, your internals could be telling you like, oh, I feel the shift, I feel the energy shaking, I feel it moving, even though I don't quite know exactly how it's going to turn out. Again, the Two of Swords to me could just be something surprising. It could just be something unexpected or unknown. And that can also be a bit of an issue when we look at the rough side of it, because we don't want to do something misinformed, right? Like, that's what I always say with this card. But the energy's flowing. I want to dive deeper on all the Cappy. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. What do we got for Capricorn? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Eight of Cups. Let's see what that has. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get it going here. Why is the Eight of Cups in the mix? Thank you. This is like a flight response. That's how this feels to me. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords in reverse underneath this Eight of Cups. Now, for some of you, if you have been wound tight, if you have been dealing with some stressful things or stress in general, this feels like relieving of pressure. The only thing that I would want to watch out is like knee-jerk action or knee-jerk reactions where something builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up, and then I do something I wasn't planning on doing. Or yeah, because that's kind of how the energy feels to me. Now, again, I'm not saying it too. It could be somebody else where it's like they let something build and they let it build and they let it build and then boom, before you know it, it's just all reaction. That's the big thing. Now, the Nine of Swords, you see it. I always say it's one of those cards where you don't need to be an expert in tarot to understand what it means. Stressed out, losing sleep. It's very anxious, nervous. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Eight of Cups, it's like build, 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 flight response. So again, whether it's you or somebody else, you might need to relieve the pressure of something in this time. So whether it's changing something about your schedule, changing a dynamic, don't let it build up, build up, build up to a point where something just happens. Like that's what I think would be best avoided. And then, yeah, we also have this flight response where like when too much builds up too quickly, like too much too soon, and then it's just reactionary. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to see what's up, but that's initially what I'm picking up here. So could it be action or reaction out of the blue? Yes. But to me, it's like there's a slow build up to it. Let's go in on the Six of Swords. We'll see what that has. We're not going to focus too much on this. That's just our starting point. And again, for those of you that aren't dealing with anything like that, Spirit may just want you to keep the energy flowing, whether it's through creative means, whether it's through physical activity. It's like stay active, stay active. You got to keep the energy moving for some reason, or at least that's how this energy feels. But let's see what this Six of Swords has. Why is it here for Cappy? Why is the Six of Swords here for Cappy? Okay. This energy, this action, it's just all so spontaneous and out of nowhere. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. You might be dealing with a fire sign. And listen, I'm going to say some things about fire signs, and I'm not smack talking fire signs because I myself have many fire sign placements. I'm a fire sign too. But when I see it in reverse, especially under the Six of Swords, it's very unpredictable, very sporadic. I don't want to say it's explosive just yet, but like the fire air combo with her in reverse and the Six of Swords, it's like this is like the flight response, and this is someone doing things out of the ordinary or out of the blue. So for some of you, maybe there's a person you're connected to, they're acting a little funny, they're acting a little different than they normally do, or you might sense something in the energy where it's like something's off here, something's a little different. That's how this is showing to me. uh, as far as actions or reactions go, it's not planned. So I don't want to say this is someone being risky, but to me, it's just unplanned, unexpected actions and people just acting before they think. So we'll see how it ties up when we get to the back end here. Now, the Queen of Wands is usually very bold, very confident. It is a focus on aesthetics and stuff like that as well. So when I see her, I usually think it's like, all right, this person's moving with confidence. When I see it in reverse underneath the Six of Swords, it's like I'm just reacting to something. So just know in this time, if you're usually a more calm, measured individual, either you or someone around you is very reactive, like where it's, I don't want to say easily triggered, but it kind of feels that way. Let's go in on the Two of Swords. So watch out for the action out of the blue. Watch out for people acting a little bit different because that it's all up in the mix over here. Let's go in on the Two of Swords. Yeah, very, very peculiar. It's like I'm looking for a solution, but I'm just going to do something. It's winging it. That's the vibe. It's like, all right, well, whatever. Just going to wing it. So let's see what the Two of Swords has. Then we'll do our recap. So why is it here? Why is the Two of Swords here? Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse underneath it. Now, normally the Four of Pentacles to me is a good card when it comes to like finances, investments, stacking up those coins and pentacles. Even in reverse, I don't think it's bad. Watch out for unexpected expenses. That's for like some of you, obviously not all of you, but yeah, Two of Swords, Four of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, oh, I'm opening up the wallet here, and I wasn't planning on doing it. Now, if we put that message to the side, the Four of Pentacles is usually holding on to something that's very clunky. Two of Swords in the upright, to me, it just fulfills this theme we've been seeing across this whole entire reading, where either somebody is acting a little different, they're operating from an energy that they don't normally do. This energy is not predictable at all. Like the energy to me actually feels the opposite, unpredictable. So whether it's actions people are taking, reactions, it's we have cause and effect, and then this energy, it's like up in the air. That's the big vibe. So for some of you, there might be situations you're dealing with that pop up out of the blue, surprising, unexpected situations, and that's to be expected when we have all this sporadic energy going on here, where it's like there's a lot of unplanned stuff, unaccounted for stuff that seems to be showing its face. Now, for a lot of you, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Not the end of the world. We're not going to raise the sirens just yet. You know, it happens in life sometimes where just stuff pops up. It pops up and we handle it, right? That's kind of how this energy feels to me with the reactive type of vibe. Either that or someone's a little extra touchy in this time. So I would say be cautious with this type of energy, but it's nothing I'm like super nervous about. Maybe it's just a heads up for some of you, or maybe advice from spirit where it's like, all right, try not to be too reactive. Maybe get into that planning phase we've been seeing since the beginning. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow here. So, intriguing mixture, very similar theme throughout, but if you kindly look in the box position, number one, we got the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Swords in reverse. And this to me did feel like a flight response or somebody just doing something where energy built up, built up, built up, and then it's like, boop, it builds up to a point where the energy just goes for whatever reason. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just very reactive. And in the center, we have the same thing, the Six of Swords and the Queen of Wands in reverse. Reaction. So it's like action, reaction. None of it seems planned to me. It doesn't seem planned out or strategic. It's kind of just winging it. So watch out for people that are acting a little different. Their energy feels different, or they're just doing stuff out of the blue. Because even to the back end, we have the Two of Swords with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Unexpected, surprising situations popping up. It's all over the place here. So I'd be a little cautious with this energy this week and watch out for unexpected expenses. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Cappy in the shadows? Oh, okay, cool. Nine of Pentacles. So this energy is the complete opposite of what we saw within the whole reading itself. Now, I love the Nine of Pentacles. I've been seeing it for a lot of signs this week. The positives of it, here are those blessings we saw last week, abundance, firm. So when we have this flighty, unpredictable energy all over the main spread and we have the Nine of Pentacles, there could be something you're dealing with where Spirit wants you to, I don't want to say bend too much, but be a little more flexible. Okay, so whether it's like in the way you resolve a situation or your mindset, the Nine of Pentacles could be very firm in place. Sometimes it's that stuck feeling too. So watch out for those cabin fevery, stuck type of feelings, but there could be situations that may require your flexibility when this card shows up, okay? So we're just going to put that Nine of Pentacles right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.